The Republic of Korea has officially taken one of the biggest strategic defense steps in its modern military history. In a landmark announcement that is already sending shockwaves across Asia, South Korea's Ministry of National Defense revealed its basic plan for the development of the Republic of Korea nuclear-powered submarine. For the first time ever, Seoul openly confirmed not only its intention to build nuclear-powered submarines, but also the long-term roadmap that could transform the balance of naval power in the Indo-Pacific region. This is not just another military modernization project. This is a national-level strategic transformation. And according to South Korea itself, the goal is clear: create a next-generation underwater force capable of countering North Korea's growing submarine-launched nuclear and missile threats while dramatically increasing the country's maritime reach and survivability. What makes this announcement even more significant is the timing. Across the Indo-Pacific, naval competition is accelerating at an unprecedented pace. China continues to expand its massive submarine fleet. North Korea is aggressively pursuing underwater nuclear delivery systems. Japan is strengthening maritime security cooperation with allies. The United States is increasing military coordination across the Pacific. And now, South Korea is entering the nuclear-powered submarine era. Unlike conventional diesel-electric submarines, nuclear-powered submarines offer extraordinary operational advantages. Traditional diesel submarines are powerful but limited. They need to surface or snorkel regularly to recharge batteries, making them more vulnerable to detection. Nuclear-powered submarines, on the other hand, can remain underwater for months at a time. Their mobility, endurance, stealth, and operational range are dramatically superior. For South Korea, this changes everything. According to the official announcement, these submarines will become a core strategic asset in responding to North Korea's underwater nuclear threats. Pyongyang has spent years developing submarine-launched ballistic missiles and experimenting with submarine-based delivery systems. South Korea clearly believes that future deterrence cannot rely solely on surface fleets or land-based missile defenses. Instead, Seoul wants an underwater capability that can patrol silently, operate far from home waters, and maintain persistent surveillance and deterrence missions without interruption. The South Korean government emphasized that this is not simply a shipbuilding program. It described the nuclear-powered submarine effort as a national strategic project requiring the concentration of national capabilities. In other words, this is about integrating South Korea's advanced nuclear technology sector, world-class shipbuilding industry, and defense manufacturing ecosystem into a single long-term military-industrial initiative. And the scale of the project is enormous. The government confirmed that development and construction will proceed systematically and in phases under 5 major principles. First, the submarine reactor will use low-enriched uranium rather than weapons-grade fuel. This is extremely important because it directly addresses international concerns regarding nuclear proliferation. South Korea stressed repeatedly that it has no intention of developing nuclear weapons. Instead, it wants to maintain compliance with global non-proliferation commitments while still pursuing nuclear propulsion technology. The reactor will also be designed for long-cycle operation, minimizing the need for fuel replacement during the submarine's service life. This reduces operational complexity while improving endurance and sustainability. Second, South Korea wants the submarines developed and built domestically. This means the country is aiming for full autonomy in acquisition, sustainment, maintenance, and long-term operational support. Rather than depending heavily on foreign suppliers, Seoul intends to leverage its own industrial base to maintain strategic independence. This ambition is not unrealistic. South Korea already possesses one of the most advanced shipbuilding industries in the world. Companies such as HD Hyundai Heavy Industries and Hanwha Ocean have extensive experience constructing advanced naval platforms, including submarines and destroyers. Combined with the country's mature civilian nuclear industry, South Korea already possesses many of the technological foundations required for such a project. Third, Seoul stated that it will actively utilize technologies accumulated over decades in both civilian nuclear engineering and commercial shipbuilding to ensure high reliability and safety standards. This point matters because nuclear powered submarines are among the most technically demanding military systems in existence. Reactor safety, acoustic stealth, heat management, propulsion integration, and maintenance infrastructure all require extremely advanced engineering capabilities. Only a small number of nations currently operate nuclear-powered submarines, including the United States, Russia, China, the United Kingdom, France, and India. If South Korea successfully joins this group, it would represent a historic leap in military-industrial capability. Fourth, the government announced that the entire project will be managed from a total life cycle perspective. This includes design, construction, operation, maintenance, fuel management, and eventual dismantlement. Nuclear-powered submarines are not temporary systems. They require decades of sustained infrastructure, technical expertise, and regulatory oversight. South Korea appears determined to create a fully sustainable framework from the beginning rather than improvising later. Fifth, the timeline itself reveals how ambitious the project truly is. Seoul aims to launch its first nuclear-powered submarine by the mid-2030s and commission it into operational service after the late 2030s. That means South Korea is preparing for a multi-decade strategic transformation. But perhaps the most politically sensitive part of the announcement involved nuclear non-proliferation commitments. Seoul made three major promises to reassure both allies and the international community. First, South Korea reaffirmed that it will not possess or develop nuclear weapons in any form. This declaration is especially important because domestic debates about South Korea potentially pursuing nuclear weapons have intensified in recent years due to North Korea's growing arsenal. Second, South Korea pledged to maintain close communication with the United States regarding the securing and management of low-enriched uranium used for submarine propulsion. This reflects the importance of the US-South Korea alliance in any future nuclear submarine program. Washington's position will likely be critical. Unlike the AUKUS agreement involving Australia, the United Kingdom, and the United States, South Korea is attempting to pursue an indigenous nuclear submarine path while remaining fully aligned with international safeguards. How Washington responds over the coming years could significantly influence the project's speed and structure. Third, South Korea announced plans to establish a safeguard system together with the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA. The country stated that it intends to fulfill high-level non-proliferation obligations throughout the project's life cycle. This is likely designed to avoid international suspicion and prevent diplomatic backlash from neighboring states. At the same time, the Defense Ministry emphasized that nuclear safety and security will remain a top priority. All radioactive waste generated from the submarines will reportedly be managed according to relevant laws and regulations. Beyond military implications, South Korea is also presenting this project as a massive industrial development initiative. According to the government, the nuclear-powered submarine effort could span more than 40 years, including roughly 10 years of construction and more than 30 years of operational support. This means the project is expected to create a long-term industrial ecosystem connecting shipbuilding, nuclear engineering, defense manufacturing, logistics, maintenance, and advanced research sectors. The projected economic impact is substantial. Seoul estimates that the program could generate more than 40,000 stable, high-quality jobs while strengthening regional industrial competitiveness and national growth potential. In many ways, South Korea appears to be following the same pattern seen in other advanced military powers, where large-scale defense projects become catalysts for technological innovation across civilian industries. The government also revealed the official name of the initiative, the Jangbogo-N Project. This name carries deep symbolism. It references ROK's Jangbogo, South Korea's first submarine, while combining it with the vision of a next-generation nuclear-powered platform integrated with advanced technologies. The message is clear. South Korea sees this not merely as a weapons program, but as the beginning of a new era in national maritime strategy. And the regional implications are enormous. If South Korea successfully develops nuclear powered submarines, it could dramatically alter underwater power dynamics across East Asia. Such submarines would allow Seoul to patrol much farther from the Korean peninsula, maintain longer underwater deployments, and conduct missions with far greater stealth and survivability. This would complicate North Korean planning, increase deterrence capabilities, and potentially expand South Korea's role in broader Indo-Pacific security operations alongside allies. At the same time, neighboring countries will closely monitor every stage of the project. China may view the development as part of a broader regional military balancing effort aligned with US strategy. North Korea will almost certainly condemn it as escalatory. Meanwhile, allies such as the United States and Japan could see the program as a valuable contribution to regional deterrence and maritime stability. One thing is certain, this announcement marks a historic turning point. For decades, South Korea transformed itself into one of the world's leading industrial and technological powers. Now, it is attempting to translate that industrial strength into one of the most advanced forms of naval capability ever created. The road ahead will not be easy. Nuclear-powered submarines require extraordinary financial investment, technical mastery, political coordination, and international trust. Delays, diplomatic pressures, and technological challenges are inevitable. But if Seoul succeeds, the Republic of Korea could emerge as one of the world's premier underwater naval powers by the middle of this century. And in the increasingly contested waters of the Indo-Pacific, that could reshape the strategic balance for decades to come.